welcome back for the penultimate, what I believe is the penultimate day of Dominion Menagerie previews. Today we've got one card that is an action attack card and costs us 4 and is called Cardinal and has the text +2 money. Each other player reveals the top 2 cards of their deck, exiles one costing from 3 to 6, and discards the rest. Um, yeah. We've seen knight slash rogue attacks, and this has some very similar flavor to that. Flavor is probably not the right word, but some similar mechanics to that. But we have exile here instead of trash. Um, the big difference there, of course, being that you can regain the card that got exiled, and and then you get it back. Uh, Also, this can't effectively trash points because you're not trashing points, you're exiling them, and in exile, those points still score points to you. So it's much weaker in that regard, right? You're never going to be able to, like, say, with cost reduction, knights can trash provinces. Even without cost reduction, they can, trash duchies. This card, well, it can exile duchies, and with cost reduction, it can exile provinces, but that's almost always a positive thing. Yeah, there's edge cases with Shepherd, maybe. I don't know. Um, Trash for benefit, maybe. But yeah, the fact that it exiles is also a thing um, that affects, I don't know, affects how the game will progress. I'm trying to think. There are a lot of cards that, well, let's see. If something gets hit, because this gets played on turn 3 or 4, like player 1 plays this on turn 3 or 4, I'm player 2, I lose one of my cards. I have to then rebuy it on turn 3 or 4 instead of what else I was getting. So that hurts because I have to buy a different card now. Unless I wanted to get another copy of it anyway. Um, and then I don't see the card to be able to play it until turn 5 or 6. So it slowed me down in a couple of different ways. Um, that could have a very big impact. On the other hand, if it's a card that I wanted to get another copy of anyway, then basically the only impact is that it had it miss my shuffle. Um, so I guess that's a thing. The other thing, of course, is once a pile runs out, there's no getting things back from exile. Um, so then it starts to permanently get rid of stuff once the piles are out. I think that I'm trying to figure out how strong this is. I think that it's probably on the whole not super strong, but there are going to be cases where it's really strong and really annoying. So, um, in a similar vein to Marauder, how Marauder isn't like, oh my gosh, the game is over, everybody has to get Marauder every game, and a lot of times you can skip it. It's probably a little bit better than Marauder because 2 money now is better than a spoils. This is the biggest reason. I think this exile stuff is a bit worse than giving them a ruins, although ways kind of changed the value of ruins to some extent. But so I do think this is a bit stronger than Marauder, but not massively strong. But there will be cases where it is massively strong. You can play a lot of it and you just rip through their deck and get rid of all their good cards. Obviously, all the other thing is if they're good 2-cost cards, this doesn't do anything against them. If they're good like sevens, it doesn't do that much, but it does hit itself. And part of the problem with rebuying some of the cards is particularly if they're like terminals, you don't necessarily want to have 5 copies. You want to have one or two. And so if you get 3 copies in exile, you can't just take one back from exile. It's all or nothing. So I can see there are going to be situations, games, and especially situations where this is very strong. But I think on the whole, it's kind of medium, um, and there are going to be a lot of cards where just getting your stuff together quickly is a lot more important and powerful. Although this is also a card that you might get, but not as an opening. Once you start to branch out into wanting payload, if you've got the terminal space, then in that case you might get this. I could also see you sometimes opening it, just hoping to high roll and hit their key 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, which is not super likely, but if it happens, would be pretty impactful. Um, but it's kind of hard for me to evaluate, and I could be all over. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section, and we'll see you again tomorrow with the last day of Dominion Menagerie previews, and then hopefully the next day with information on all the non-previewed cards, events, and ways. But thanks for watching now, and we'll catch you later.